We appreciate your candidacy for the Board of Directors of the Cumberland Cove POA. On August 13th, 2015, there will be a meet and greet event at the Welcome Center for all of the candidates. Please plan to attend. Doors will open at 6 p.m. for refreshments, and the program will begin at 6:30. The event will be divided into essentially 3 parts. The first part is more formal. We are enclosing 2 questions that we would like you to answer. These questions must be answered in writing and returned to us before the event. You will be reading the answers to these questions during the first part. You will have up to 2 minutes per question to read your response. All candidates are receiving and responding to the same questions. The second part is a moderated question and answer session between the audience and the candidates. The election committee feels that this event should be as fair and as open as possible. The following 2 questions should be answered and returned to the election committee chairperson. Number 1, are you comfortable with the current covenants and bylaws? If not, why not? The second question, a controversial subject has been the Welcome Center building. What are your thoughts about the future of the Welcome Center? Thank you for your participation, Valerie Sizemore, election chairperson, and the election committee. Again, I'd like to stress that the election committee has been trying, as we have gone along, to keep everything as fair and balanced as possible for all of our candidates here. Now, with that, I will start. We're going to go in alphabetical order, and we'll start with the first question. Are you comfortable with the current covenants and bylaws? If not, why not? Pat.
I believe in them, I support them, and I believe that it's the board's responsibility to enforce them as they were written in January 2015. I do not support changes to these when they are punitive or discriminatory against a group of homeowners, especially when it does not benefit all homeowners equally.
Can you all hear her?
No. Move the microphone closer to me.
Yeah, you gotta have it right up to your mouth.
How's that?
A little more.
How's that?
Yes. Go ahead and do it again, Pat. I think that's only fair.
As far as the bylaws and the covenants, I believe in them, I support them, and I believe it is the board's responsibility to enforce them as they were written in January 2015. I do not support changes to these when they are punitive or discriminatory against a group of homeowners, especially when it does not benefit all homeowners equally.
Thank you, Pat. Terry.
Our covenants and bylaws serve a vital role in protecting the interests of all property owners. I believe the covenants as written have served our community well. As for the bylaws, they are inherently more flexible and therefore susceptible to change. When there is a question, conflict, or demonstrated need to change or add to the bylaws, it must be done with good judgment and restraint and never as a quick fix. Bylaws must not be in conflict with the covenants or other bylaws at any time. Unfortunately, we do have some conflicts that need to be addressed. Also, reserve funds have become a topic of debate recently. I feel there is a need to clearly define what our reserve funds can and cannot be used for through the enactment of a bylaw. Well-written bylaws allow for policies and procedures to be put in place and implemented during the day-to-day operations and also in the transition of office staff and board members.
Thank you, Terry. Don?
The current covenants and bylaws need additional adjustments. While most are solid, there are some bylaws that need to be addressed. There is still a contradiction in the bylaws, specifically with the appointment of a committee by the president. A separate bylaw states that the committees are appointed by the board. I believe that the appointment of committees by the president gives too much power to one individual and ignores the opinions of the entire board. This occurred in the past year where committee members were removed by the president, even though the majority of the board disagreed. There needs to be an improvement in the election bylaws, having the ballots secured at an off-site location until they are ready to count. This also lifts additional work and responsibility from the office staff. The bylaw committee should continue to look at improving all bylaws and make suggestions to the board to improve the efficiency of the Cumberland Cove POA. The bylaw committee needs to establish a new bylaws addressing our reserve account and what it specifically can be spent on. This would assure that future boards do not misinterpret what items a reserve fund can be used for.
Thank you, Don. David?
Hello. I believe the covenants are fine as they are written, but see some issues with our bylaws. There are some conflicts in the verbiage of some of our bylaws and written procedures such as the ECC Red Book. The board needs to go through each of our governing documents and assure that these do not conflict with the covenants. All of our governing documents must abide by the covenants and cannot be in conflict with them, no matter how you may feel on an issue. I also feel that the board uses changes in the bylaws to deal with items that should be taken care of in policies and procedures. Our POA needs a good set of policies and procedures to deal with day-to-day happenings and other emergency items. Good policies and procedures allow for a smooth operation and transitions for new employees or new board members. The POA's operation should not be left to interpretation. Bylaw changes should be a rarity.
Thank you, David. Harris?
I am comfortable with the current, I am comfortable with the current covenants, bylaws, and code of conduct. The problem is with the enforcement of them. They are not being enforced uniformly or being ignored completely.
Thank you, Harris. Elton?
My answer to the question is yes, I'm comfortable with the covenants and the bylaws. And for this reason, the bylaws give us a framework for governing our property owners association. The association is a not-for-profit corporation operating under the laws of the state of Tennessee, and therefore both the state and the federal governments look to us to operate as a business, hence the need for a structured means of managing our business. This management responsibility includes administration of the Cumberland Cove covenants and restrictions. Property owners' compliance with the covenants encourages preservation of our peaceful surroundings, our infrastructure, and our common properties. The covenants also provide the means to resolve issues that arise in these areas, and above all, the covenants help to ensure that the properties are maintained and property values are sustained over time.
Thank you, Elton. Wow.
Valerie, give me just another few seconds. This is not a professional camera, so it's not, the cards aren't taking a lot of this, and I want to be sure I get everybody's answers.